get to what these guys are doing.
I'll be honest, I like people to think I'm a tough guy. I won't even walk up to the top of some of
No,
these.
it's too high.
It's too high.
And Jimmy, what about you?
You could get hurt.
You could.
May I make an observation?
Yes, Kenny?
Another sport invented for the Aryans.
Jesus. He always contributes something
Absolutely
horrid
awful.
and awful.
Well, I want to paint the picture here. We are broadcasting
All right,
live
but
from
we're
the
doing
X
a
Games.
show.
And we're at the stadium where they're doing the motocross and the BMX biking and all that. And you got to
Opie
explain.
Gacy.
No, I'm just saying. You got to explain the ramp. It
Yeah.
goes to the top of the stadium.
Well, we were informed that they trucked in 300 truckloads of dirt to build these piles, these huge ramps. But then they have these ramps that go up the seats. You know, it's stadium seating here because it is a stadium. So one of the ramps run right up the entire section of seating, and the bikes come
Flying down
it into the middle here where it's full of dirt and dirt hills, and they're jumping over them, getting some sick altitude.
They like
And,
to call it
coming
air.
down. Air, I understand. Air.
Air. Lots and lots of air.
There's piles of just dirt. I feel like an ant on Ben's desk.
It's filthy.
It's quite a sight, though. They're just practicing, and we're going to be talking to a lot of the athletes from the
Yes.
X Games. Oh, look at this young go-getter, our first fan coming by to say hi to the boys.
Oh,
Great.
look how they come up with that look in their eyes.
That 1,000-yard Marine stare.
They're seeing celebrities.
Hey,
Hi.
he's wearing his Opie and Anthony Spread the Virus T-shirt. Very
Yes.
nice. My brother would be proud.
You got to thank ESPN for having us.
Of course we got to thank ESPN. They set up this whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kenny has decided to do the show with us today.
I guess so.
But usually you do that at the end of the broadcast. Why don't you just mention who produces it and who is the director?
We're still trying to figure that out ourselves.
We're trying to settle in and figure it all out, and Kenny's on top of it already. But.
Why don't you thank the food people? Yeah, all right, Kenny.
Two Jews walk into a bar. Thank you to A1 Limo.
But what an experience getting out to L.A., huh, Anthony?
Oh, it's always a treat traveling from one place to the other to do this fine program. And this trip, no exception, Opie. Of course, we all fly what they call first class.
Well, some of us.
Yes.
Some, well, I mean the members of the actual program. Me, you, little cute Jimmy.
You mean the responsible ones?
Right. The
The
ones that
talent.
actually do something.
The ones that actually go to bed at a decent time so they can sound good on the radio.
Aren't
You know.
drinking, doing narcotics, and stumbling into their hotel at 4 a.m.
Yeah, Anthony made a good observation on the way over to the Home Depot Center here at the X Games. You were saying that isn't it our duty to be the ones going out and partying and getting hammered and
Yeah.
barely making it on the air in time to broadcast?
Every other like talent, they call it, the talent. They're always the problem. The rock band, it's the road manager and those people that got to keep them in line, or else you get no show. That's how it usually is. In this situation, we, the on-air people, are responsible. We go out to dinner maybe and then back to the room to go to sleep at a reasonable hour. Maybe, watch a movie on the Spectravision, whatever. And our crew are the ones that are out partying like maniacs. It's Ben. Oh, stop. You even before the trip. Did you absolutely show up in the same clothes you did the show with on Wednesday?
Dude, when you showed up to my apartment, you were wearing the same clothes from the day before, weren't you?
You traveled.
the same shirt?
Yeah,
You
the same
traveled
shirt.
Friday with us, or what was it? Thursday.
Yeah.
I took a shower.
You did, but you put on the same clothes.
Did I? Yeah, probably.
Did I?
I walked into the van. I thought it was Mickey Rourke from Barfly. I'm like, who is that?
They party like it's 1999.
Very good, Kenny.
There you are.
I mean, whenever
I'd like to thank Prince for that song.
I mean, whenever you want, you can turn off Club Soda Kenny's mic. It's really up to you. Trust me on that one. But weren't you guys out partying down at the beach last night?
Yeah, we just went out to dinner. We were home early.
Yeah, he calls it dinner.
We went out to
Most
dinner.
people
all
call
of us.
that a coke binge.
We all went out to dinner. Kenny and Steve and Eric.
Yeah.
Mortified a cab driver on the way home.
Yeah, I
Trying
heard
to rest in front of the hotel.
Yes.
Someone got arrested?
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
I heard there was a domestic dispute or something like that.
There was a guy and a girl both in cuffs.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was like an episode of Cops.
Really?
Exactly.
Filmed on location.
Well, Kenny
The
was
men
telling
and
me
women
this
of law
morning.
enforcement.
Kenny was telling me this morning you just wanted to get a quick bite to eat, and it turned out to be a whole thing, right?
Last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that power drinking was the appetizer.
They had a fine dinner. It's a piece of bread and a case of Jim Beam. You're all doing shots out of crazy straws.
Anyway, where were we? So we're talking about our trip out. So yeah, Ben,
Yeah.
a bunch of us, bunch of the guys decided to show up at my apartment in New York, and then we would leave from there. Ben shows up they stumbled out of a bar and came over.
Because they
So
go
it
over-
seemed anyway.
They go over to your house because there's no chance of tripping on any pesky furniture or anything.
It's like
You
laying
don't
in
want to stumble over that.
a brand new apartment.
So, and then we left from there, you know.
But he fell asleep in the back. I never knew Ben snored. I thought someone was watching the first 20 minutes of Saving Private Ryan. Like, what the fuck is happening back there? He really snores.
He was getting people complaining on the airplane, complaining about his snoring.
That's funny.
Yeah, that is funny. Not if you're sitting there next to you. I think an engine exploded. No, it's just this big-headed guy.
Well, Steve.
That and this chick next to Steve puking.
Oh, yeah. I heard that, too.
Yeah, we just got to organize all this because we don't even know where to begin. Yeah, Ben was snoring on the plane. The hot chick, I guess, she was hot, right, Steve?
She was by far the hottest chick on that airplane.
And she was just puking.
Before the plane even took off, I saw her reach for the puke bag, and then I just heard buckets of water hitting puke bag.
Oh,
And
nice.
It was
What a
awful.
coincidence. She looked fine until I sat down and started talking about navigating my website. You have to type in what? Oh.
How do I download that file?
The funny thing is they call me Martini Steve. I don't even enjoy martinis.
But yeah, it was.
You think she was just hungover?
I think so. I mean, she actually looked like a porn chick, but I didn't really want to say that because that's kind of crass.
Right.
But
Yeah.
she did look
Why?
like.
Is she here? I mean, who cares?
Well, I did have to spend the next 6 hours sitting next to her.
Oh, he didn't want to say it to her.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it to her.
Oh, okay.
You
might
gotta
have
check
been
her, check her puke bag. If it looked like tapioca, she's a porn star.
She might have been full.
Yeah. Check her dipstick.
So you had a puker next to you.
I had a puker next to me.
And then Ben was snoring the entire flight, I heard.
Yeah,
Ben pretty
so
much slept the entire flight from New York to L.A.
And
Is
Eric,
sleeping really the word for it?
Yes.
People call it being passed out.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing. He was sleeping off a drunk.
He was taking a little nap face down in the aisle.
Eric tried to record Ben snoring with his cell phone, and guys were yelling at him like he was a terrorist to shut off his cell phone.
Yeah, you know how they give the instruction to turn off your cell phones on the flight? You can't use them
Right.
until they land and open the doors. Well, people actually think something, the engines are going to quit if your cell phone is even turned on. And that's just not the case. As a matter of fact, they're working on it now, which is going to be horrid, to actually let people use their cell phones during the flight, which you just don't want to hear.
Can I ask you fellas a question?
Yes, sure.
Since we had all the fun in last class, how was it in front of the plane?
It's wonderful.
I was not happy at all, dude. I don't want to complain, but there was not enough brown sugar on my cinnamon roll.
Yeah.
I
My
hate when that
chocolate
happens.
chip cookie that they give out, the big hot cookie,
Fresh
could have
baked.
been a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
It had cooled
Yeah.
a bit on the way down to my row, and I could have been warmer.
Well, we had Screaming Child in first class. We should get right into it.
this
A
this
mom
is just an abomination.
with 2 kids, 3 seats in first class, even though she was only using 2. She was that rich. You could tell she was just a rich
She looked
bitch.
like, didn't she look like that woman that had cancer in Fight Club?
I didn't see Fight Club.
She had the bandana around her head, and she was all thin, and she had these 2 kids that I guess are spoiled rotten. If you're flying your kids in first class, you got to assume the kids are really spoiled. They sit down, and already they just start, screaming for shit, and I'm sitting there going, oh, boy, no, you don't do this. Anywhere on the plane. But, if you're sitting in steerage, you have to pretty much expect whatever you get.
Exactly.
When you're in first class, I don't want to deal with that.
I want only fancy people.
Fancy people. The most noise I want to hear is the clinking of champagne glasses. That's all I want to hear. The laughter.
The ruffle of a Wall Street Journal turning.
Look at my bank account. Let me look at yours. And then they chuckle. Things like that. Not screaming kids. screaming. And this kid went on and on about.
Well, I think I could imitate the kid for you.
All right, give it a try.
I want candy. 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 I want.
Keep going till noon, and we'll be set.
Like times 10. It
Yeah.
went on and on. And then this rich bitch decides that first class on a plane before it takes off on a long flight to L.A. is a perfect time to teach the kid a lesson.
Yes.
Where he's not going to get what he wants if he yells for it.
I'm not giving in to you now, young man.
I'm at the point, I was ready to go, will you give the fucking kid some candy so we could all relax? Because everyone was just getting really annoyed on the entire plane. Because it was just so freaking loud, this kid.
Yeah, where's a pedophile when you need one?
Right behind the kids.
I want candy. I want daddy.
And he starts going. He starts yelling, "I want candy! I want candy now!" And he's screaming now, like just asking for it wasn't enough. Like he assumed in his head, maybe she just doesn't understand when I want the candy.
Right. Maybe she thinks this is a vague notion, but I'd like candy someday.
Sometime, maybe when we land.
And she was a sick fuck because she was feeding candy to the little one, the other kid she had, right in front of the kid screaming for, I want candy, I want candy. And all she had to do was give the damn kid candy, and that would have been the end of it. I know parents out there listening like, well, you're not supposed to do that. But in that situation, you got to just shut the kid up.
Shut the kid up.
For everyone else's benefit,
Help out the cabin.
She grabbed the kid's face. She held
This
the
was
face.
a great moment. I saw it, too. Go ahead, Jim.
She leans over with her rich lady long fingers, holds the kid's face, and lines up a perfect slap. She cracked this little girl.
Smacked his
Smacked
yeah.
the girl shit
right
out of her.
across the face. Here it is. Bam!
Oh, it was fucking great.
It was classic.
I almost said, don't do that. Next time, ball your fist up.
Right.
Oh, my. Anyone who's against abortion, they should have just videotaped these little fuckers.
Oh, horrid.
Hey, you guys, we got our first guest. We could jump into some of the other stuff that happened on the way to L.A. and our hotel and stuff. But we got to say hi to Tess. Tess, how do you say your last name?
Sewell.
Sewell?
Sewell.
Tess Sewell knows all about the X Games, Anthony. He's good. And you're one of the announcers here at the stadium? Or?
Yeah, I needed a second job, and 7-Eleven was full, so now I'm a TV analyst, too.
Nice.
I have no idea why, because it's not crazy enough here today. Then I have to go and sit in the booth and try and protect the voice all day. But, you know, it sure beats working for a living.
You got to have the raspy, extreme voice for this, though.
Extreme.
Yeah, coming out over the thing. You know, you got to sound like, pumped.
I'm
the whole
nothing.
time.
I'm nothing if not extreme.
Are you extreme?
Actually, what's really extreme is that this stage is in the perfect place for somebody to go wrong on this 75-foot jump.
Don't think we haven't thought about
and
that.
come swimming straight onto the table.
Yeah, if you notice, this jump, the last jump that they're going to be going over here, is we're to the side of it. But it's been known. These guys don't actually go straight over it sometimes, and we are in perfect line for someone to screw up. And
someone may even plan to come here because they are all clinically insane.
Yeah. You can't do this and have any kind of urge to protect yourself or any of that. Well, like an instinct in you. Self-preservation, it's called.
As soon as you even hope to protect yourself, you're going backwards.
Yeah.
And anybody that watched the best trick competition last night.
Oh.
These people were bringing out motorcycles no one's ever tried to ride before. I mean, they pull themselves off the bike 90 feet and somehow try to get all the body parts back on. Doesn't always work.
It looks like, what it looks like they're doing is, it looks like they have fallen off the bike in mid-jump, and they're clawing, trying to get back on it. But it's all very choreographed. They know what they're doing. They're trying out these things. And last night we saw a dump that was a couple of them. That was, I mean, the trick was getting a concussion, I guess, was his, and he scored a perfect score.
You know, it's so funny. If concussion was one of the marks for judges, there'd be a lot of guys doing really well with gold medals around their neck on here.
Who was the guy that just landed ragdolled? He was out for about 5 minutes.
In BMX last night.
That was Dave.
The guy went down. Well, Dave Mira went down.
Yeah, we had him on the
He
show
got up.
before.
He did pretty well, but then John Parkas, guy from Arizona, went down hard and got dragged out of the bottom of the vert ramp. He's fine. I mean, it's not like John or Dave and a whole bunch of these guys haven't been through it more than once before. But, I mean, it shows you what the odds are they're dealing with. They make it look real easy.
Yeah.
You know, every single one of these sports, when Danny Way launches off that huge big air skateboard ramp, he's traveling 90 feet. He's got a skateboard under him.
Yeah.
It's not even attached to him. That's the thing people miss. That skateboard can leave you at any point. the jeopardy's pretty big, but they just glide through the air and land on that downside, and I still have no idea how most of them do it.
It is amazing to watch, man. And they're all just, you see them walking around the facility, they're all just banged up and beat up. You got these huge hamburger scrapes on them, and they just, it's nothing. Just another day.
The funny thing is that they're old men at 24.
Yeah.
You know, the first time I ever met Mike Metzger, I think he was maybe 23, and I thought he was an old dude.
Yeah.
I didn't actually realize that the crippled-looking guy walking towards me was an extreme athlete.
Well, it's definitely a sport for the young, because I couldn't imagine anybody getting up into their late 20s, continuing doing this, and being able to walk as they get older.
And the most amazing thing is when we started with a lot of this stuff, it looked as though we'd already reached the pinnacle of what the sports could do. Mm-hmm. And every year, they managed to change it and do something that's even crazier. I mean, the concept of going up and down on a skateboard vert ramp with that tiny little thing under your feet, and that vert ramp is pretty tall.
Yeah.
Then they come up with this crazy idea of doing a skateboard big air because the vert ramp wasn't dangerous enough. So let's just jump over a 90-foot gap and see what happens on the other side.
Oh, my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, you guys can make a lot of money. How much can you make to the penny?
Well, first place in one of these competitions, 50 G's.
See?
50 large for first place.
Which ain't bad.
But I think a lot of the cash comes from their sponsors.
Oh, yeah. These guys, I mean,
endorsements, yeah.
These guys, if you're at the top of this game, you're a guy like a Dave Mira or a Travis Pastrana, you know.
Yeah, because I see their houses on cribs.
Yeah.
They do good.
Yeah, they're making $10-20 a pop for those, I guess, Kenny.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, the X Games are just blowing up, too. It's just getting bigger and bigger every year.
I think it's getting bigger and bigger because every year these guys manage to push the envelope.
Right. Yeah. And you think they've pretty much attained all they could attain with a skateboard or a bicycle or a motorcycle, and they just come back the next year and do something even more nuts.
Well, this year in BMX, I mean, unfathomable happens. Guys are doing front flips now. Back flips are not dangerous. Let's go forward to see what happens.
Yeah.
And when we came into X Games with motocross, we had freestyle, and people were saying, hey, you think somebody could backflip a motorcycle? And we all burst out laughing in the room. It just seemed like the stupidest idea. And then, year 2000, Kerry Hart comes out, was 40 feet in the air, upside down, with 220 pounds of motorcycle following him.
Yeah.
And ever since that point, those guys have just gone nuts. 360s, the body burial that Chuck did last year and attempted last night, and, again, got his bell rung. If somebody says, okay, I'm going to flip the bicycle, they're going to say, well, I'm going to flip on top of the bicycle. So, it's not the money they're chasing.
No.
They really just want to. This is in the schoolyard, and they're like, you know what? I'm better than you. I'm going to get hotter chicks because I'm going to do something crazier.
Speaking of the hot chicks, on the way in, we saw all the groupies waiting for the guys.
Oh, yeah.
Was that who those girls were?
They weren't there for us.
Yeah, I know they didn't ask us to sign anything.
I'm sure. I saw a couple of, I think there were a couple of Opie and Anthony tube tops.
Yeah, the guys were wearing them, which is really frightening.
We stepped out of our car, and there was all these really, really hot chicks at the entrance. We're like, hey, I guess we're doing pretty good on XM Satellite Radio. They ignored us. And then the bike guys and the motocross guys started showing up, and these girls were going nuts.
You know who walked up to us? You see that guy right there? He's wearing an orange shirt and a yellow hat, and he looks like he has a shovel with hair matted to it in his trunk. He comes up and shows us a Jack Nicholson autograph. That's who we attract.
That's who we attract.
The beauty of L.A.
Yeah. And then the athletes all have the hot chicks looking after them. What's one of the older guys in the competition? You got any of the older guys?
The ancient
guys
in their 30s, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, 30s. right on the front page of the Daily Breeze, they have a guy on a BMX bike, Jamie Bestwick, right?
Yeah.
34 years
34.
old.
Are they one of the old timers?
He's a crotch of the old English guy.
Yeah.
But, he can still show you young kids what to do. And, you got a guy like Matt Hoffman. I think he's sponsored by Swingline because his entire body is stapled together. But they just don't stop. I don't think they know what they do is, eventually going to send them to an early grave. And they come out every year and constantly surprise you. And Jamie Bestwick, for all, of his old creakiness, that guy is so smooth on a bike. And maybe that's where, the experience pays as opposed to just the zest of youth.
Yeah. You could tell the old bicycle guys, they have the big front tire and the little one in the back. Have a parasol? Nothing?
That's pretty good. Actually, little kid holding a long loaf of bread.
The coolest thing last night, actually, was Dave Meara showing just how pimp he is. Comes out on a 24-carat bike. His entire bike is gold.
Stop.
Just
really?
Gold. Gold bike, concussion.
Wow. Yeah, good job. All right, well, when do they take to the dirt?
We basically got fun going on all day, every day. We come on again tonight on ESPN, and we roll in with Moto X Step Up, which is, of course, one of those popular events because people can understand it. It's just guys going over a high jump.
Wow.
And there's no judging there. The guy either gets over the bar or he doesn't get over the bar. Jeremy McGrath, the king, won it last year.
What do you mean he just get over the bar?
It's a high jump.
It's a high jump.
It's a high
on a
jump
motorcycle.
on a motorcycle.
On a motorcycle.
Holy crap.
Who doesn't want to see that? I mean, come on.
Wow.
That's insanity.
And that, it's these sort of events that I think we sit around and figure out, what stupid thing can we do next? And it was actually, the Step Up was a halftime show that we came up with when we did freestyle contests. And we're like, what else could we do to fill the time here? Because people are running away and grabbing nachos. So
anything ever get turned down because it's just too insane?
Nothing.
Really? Yeah, that's it. Whatever.
There's always somebody willing to do this thing.
We got to bring fire into it
I was
somehow.
going to just say that. You beat me to it. Like, when do we get to see fire?
It's pyro and dancing chick. Actually, this year at X Games, we have I think they're called the Perfect Angels.
Ooh.
We have dancers / cheerleaders.
Nice. I hear they're completely nude this year.
Oh, yeah. The ladies. In your strange world, they probably would be.
Of course.
But in the world of network television, the Perfect Angels may have a stripe of clothing on somewhere.
Very good. All right. Well, they're going to start practicing the BMX thing. That should make for some great sounds for our broadcast.
Yeah, I know. You hear that chain going through the sprocket.
The motocross guys, it was just so powerful and amazing, and they stopped just as we started broadcasting, and now we get to hear guys pedaling.
They put baseball cards on their spokes.
Oh, did they do that to make a little extra noise?
I was just trying to be witty.
That was a good one.
And you failed miserably.
No, I thought it was a clever one. Baseball cards, bikes.
They're wetting down the dirt,
right.
So as not to make as much.
All right.
Guys, thanks, man.
The food has arrived. The food.
Take it easy, man. Thank you.
Club Soda Kenny walks us all to the bathroom. Like, I've never been to a Dodger game before. You got to walk me to the urinal.
I have to protect everybody.
You want to go here? You want to go to the private one, the VIP?
He takes it very seriously. There's 10 people in the entire stadium, and he's walking us to the bathroom.
Can I wash the cheese off your dick, Mr. Moore?
There's more people in my car. I'm dodging her.
Hey, Kenny, how's things so far? Any problems out there?
Well, you got a lot of fans here. They're all excited to see everyone. And we're getting the food ready because I know everybody's hungry. And I just want to compliment you guys how well the show is going.
I'm a fucking idiot.
I just wanted to say.
I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. Shut up!
All right. Thank you, Kenny.
Hey, Kenny.
I'm big and stupid. There's a difference between an idiot
and big and stupid. You are big and stupid.
Are we going to the Comedy Store tonight?
I will take you wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
Improv?
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Come by my house. We'll take the electric boat out and look at who is.
All right, we're going to go to Jay Moore's house
oh.
tonight.
Hey, Kenny.
Yes, sir.
How about when you went to show me where the food is and we went into every single luxury suite in the Home Depot Center? And then he goes, excuse me, where's the food? And the guy at the elevator goes, I don't know. Maybe it's upstairs. And Kenny goes, come on, we got to go upstairs. And the elevator only has a down button. On the top floor, you
guy was fucking with you.
I know.
We got to go upstairs. When you do back in the Pacific Northwest to scare campers?
That's what I love about Jen.
That's terrific, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's terrific. All right.
All right.
Kenny, thanks for adding nothing once again.
Let's eat.
Let's go to Carolyn in New Jersey.